Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined this evening by 4 fellow pilgrims. My name's Gary. I'm joined by Ross, Mike, otherwise known as Dunlop, another Mike, and Warren on the end. You join us on our first Pasoti Jodcast, where we're going to have a bit of a chat about all things Argyle, and I hope you enjoy it. So, guys, I'm going to sort of open the floor to you first of all. We've got a few questions that we're going to throw at you. I'd like you to give us some feedback and some answers regarding those questions. The first question, what do you think of the players Derek's brought in this season? Does anyone want to start with that one?
Yeah, I don't think they're that brilliant. In fact, I can't think of any of that we brought in that has been a benefit to the team.
Not even the Dapper.
No, they seem to be taking, up till now, they seem to be taking a long time to gel, which is the downside. This is the second season that we've had a problem waiting for the team to gel, and the season's been quite a way forward, So you're catching up all the time.
Do we buy that as a reason? Do we think that it is a matter of team gelling?
I think so.
You got a team like Peterborough. They went out and they pretty much changed their full team,
and they tore us apart.
And they started, their flying.
I think in the case of Peterborough, you're talking they spend big money. We're picking up not journeymen, but we're picking up some people at the end of their careers, some people that are coming back from injury. If you go out and spend big money, then generally that player will just fit into any team.
The players that we've picked up are unwanted for a reason.
Which in the past he's done well with, some Bradley, etc. However, it does take time. Last season we went through exactly the same thing. I don't think Argyle fans can put up with that season after season after season.
Last season we had a fairly decent back four. Right, this season we got a completely new back four. Okay, central defenders are still a bit iffy. Fullbacks, or the right fullback, I don't know what he's doing each game. I've never seen him have a good game.
If you look at a lot of the teams in different leagues, they keep a large core of the previous season and just upgrade them a little bit with a few new players. They don't kick out half the team and bring in another half, expecting them to seamlessly fit in, because it's human nature. They can't.
There appears to be a strategy with Derek Adams.
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't want to give long contracts for some reason, for whatever reason. So
which works on one hand, because you aren't going to be left with a complete dud. You'd be able to move them on. But on the other side, this idea of tearing the whole team apart, every season bothers me. Especially this season, we've got a new back five.
I believe
we've got 2 young, very inexperienced fullbacks and a young, very inexperienced goalkeeper.
I think if you've got 2 problems if you're on a 1-year contract. One especially, if it's a really, really good player, he'll be gone. You won't get any money for it.
Yeah, but they're on extensions, don't forget. Some of them have got clauses where the club or them can ask for a 12-month extension.
Yeah, sometimes that doesn't work. Greg Wild was on an extension.
He's brought him back. Case in point.
But we got players like Lionel Ainsworth not playing, Greg Wild not playing.
I rate him, to be quite honest. But
you've seen him play. Blimey, that must be a collector's item, seeing Ainsworth actually on the pitch.
I have actually.
Well, I think I'll pick that up on one point. None of them have been impressed. Well, Ladapu must have impressed, surely.
He's been the standout of a fairly mediocre bunch at the minute. But I mean, it took Sonny Bradley till Christmas the first season to get going, and he was our player of the season by a country mile. And again, last season we were slightly forgiven because we did have a ridiculous period of bad luck with all those goalkeeper injuries. You can say red cards while they're unlucky. They get given for various reasons. We put up with it, and so we let Derek carry on, and there weren't any murmurings for him to go. But he can argue that he might be the guy to get us out of those problems, but the fact that we keep entering in them isn't a massive sign of endorsement.
No.
The other thing I think about, like I said, I don't think the players are that good, but is it the system that they're playing that they just can't play that system?
Well, you would hope that Derek Adams would bring in people to fit in his system, wouldn't you?
But his system seems to be lump the ball on.
It certainly wasn't working to begin with.
And the dapple, for whatever you say, the ball just don't stick.
No.
When we were having success last season, wasn't he playing 2 up front?
can't remember the last time Derek Adams played.
No, you know, our form coincided when Taylor came back and the ball goes to him and he sticks, you know.
Yeah.
I think if you was to replace Taylor, imagine if Derek Adams had Trigger, we would have stormed the league last season, I'm sure of it, because he's very much like Sturrock and he relies on the guy at the front to keep the ball, to be able to pass it to the people behind him. And as soon as we had Carey and Ramirez, and he just came in by strike, and we had Taylor there, that's when we started roaring away. The Dapo is not Ryan Taylor, but he's trying to, or initially he was trying to make him play
he's
like
a different sort of player.
He is, absolutely.
The Dapo's quicker. He'll probably better off playing off the defender's shoulder.
The Dapo with two up front,
However said that,
would be fantastic.
Having said that, over the last 6 weeks, he's not very good one-on-one, is he?
No.
So what I was saying, the system we're playing, so if we did play a different system, would those players then be better? You know, if we played a bit more football, a bit more holding the ball a
But
bit.
again, Derek Adams seems very stubborn.
Yeah.
Why do we think that is?
Yeah.
Why is he so stubborn? Does he not want to be told by other people what he should be doing? Do you think?
I think if you go back a long way on Pasoti and read posts from Ross County supporters, they said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And also he had divided his fan base. Well, he did do that.
Yeah.
You know, lots of people wanted him out, lots of people want him in, and those things that the Ross County supporters have said are starting to come true. Very stubborn, divides the fan base.
I think the biggest mistake as well, he's been given carte blanche of a longer contract, more overall control. This is one of the things with Simon Hallett coming in, I think, might rein him in a little bit, because I think Simon Hallett is a man that sees what goes on in American football, sees how things are run, and will not want too much.
That's like a red flag to a ball for me, talking about American football and or bloody football.
Well,
it's a different shape for a start, isn't it?
I go, God.
yeah, but
You get popcorn delivered to
Don't
you.
get me on that. Don't get me on that.
Several times
Soccer club you become.
yeah, but it is
dear,
a sport, isn't
dear.
it? You know, this is
Can't
what I'm
believe
saying.
that. Cannot believe that. American football.
One positive that I think
Dear.
I'd certainly like to raise is Conor Grant at left back. I think he's done a good job. I think his distribution's good.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the positives. I mean,
Yeah.
he's moved into left back. He'd never played there before, but he's taken to it like a duck to water.
I go along with that, but has he had a good winger up against him yet? I'll go along with what you say 100%, but has he had a good out and out right winger up against him?
He must have played there now, what was it, five or six games?
I agree with what you say.
I think a lot of time with your fullbacks, it's who they've got supporting them in front of them.
Yeah.
If you're not going to get the support, then you're going to look a bad fullback, and people will have to go at the fullback and not the cover that should be there.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about defensive football anyway, I think one person, you've got to go a long way to beat, is Songo. He'll put his head in anywhere just to keep a goal out.
He's got a foot like a Toblerone, though.
Eh?
He's got a foot like a Toblerone, though.
Doesn't matter, if it doesn't go in our goal, there's a chance it might go in theirs, you know.
He's an animal. Yeah, he's an animal. Okay, guys, thanks for that. I want to move on. Refurb grandstand. Obviously, we've all seen the progress now that's starting to be made. There's been a bit of criticism issued towards the club regarding how long it's taken, but we're now actually seeing it happen. How much are we looking forward to seeing it completed?
100%.
Yeah.
You've got to look forward to it. I mean,
The thing is, going back on, a lot of people have got a gripe that they didn't see much happening. There was a hell of a lot happening. It was behind the scenes. Removing of asbestos. You can't do that in 5 minutes. You've got to set up safety things. There's a hell of a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Okay, now it's all coming down. Now you can see progress.
Yeah.
But it was the progress you couldn't see. It was happening.
Yeah.
I think the crux of, I mean, it's going to be great when it's done. Obviously, it's long overdue. However, I'd like to know when they're going to do the phase 2 corners. I don't want that left and left and left like phase 1 has been for donkey's years. They need to push on with that and get the whole stadium finished.
Well, I think
and then maybe start the maintenance on the horseshoe.
I was up in Park yesterday, speaking, and they started to take the girders down, the A-frame girders coming down. I was speaking to a couple of the workmen there, and I think they come down from Bristol, and they were saying, cannot believe why they just didn't take it down and put a new one on. Cost-wise, they said it's going to be time they finish and find out what they're going to find out.
Yeah.
You know, and this is from a couple of workmen up there.
Yeah. There again, I think they wanted to keep a little bit of the history. This
There's not many
forward,
of these leach stands left, you know. I think it adds a bit of character. You go to there's so many blooming
Character,
bowls out there.
Character's great. I sit in the Linda, so it doesn't affect me. But I think this day and age, you need cantilever roofs, no posts in the way.
Right, I think that's what they're going to get that anyway. I think, but
well, no, the posts stay.
Are they?
Yeah,
they
Oh,
are.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
But there is, I don't know what football ground it is now, but there is one football ground in the Premiership that's still got
Everton.
one.
Yeah, Goodison Park.
Yeah, they got one of those.
Yeah, that's right.
grounds.
But they're going to move. They're going to move. They're just in a process.
Well, yeah, but if you see where Goodison Park is, you can't build nothing there at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be good. Obviously, long overdue, and I think the big thing which supporters don't realise is your banqueting, your hospitality stuff, which is money for Argyle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
You know, people seem to forget that. They just look
I
at
can't
the
wait
seats.
for the ancillary bits to come, like the ice rink and that.
Yeah.
Maybe you might
Well,
even
you
get those
ice
on
skater,
me.
are you?
Jane Tolville.
My daughter is.
Tell you what is interesting as well is I've spoken to a couple of opposition managers and they love not having supporters behind them.
Well, yeah,
I'm looking forward to getting that
Yeah,
back.
because
I used to
you
stand
know,
on the Mayflower.
they stand over
Yeah.
there, they
Yeah.
don't get any stick,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and they love it. I'm speaking to Nigel Clough a couple of weeks ago, and and he said it. He said, "Oh, how long is it going to be like this? This is lovely.
Yeah.
You know, no stick. You know."
I think whatever you say, it's going to be 100% better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could, you know, if the money was there, it could be better, a lot better. Like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
Washer said, phase 2, the cover in the corners,
Yeah.
right? That you know, what I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
that's
know.
got to come.
But we must,
Fingers crossed, they might do a bed over the changing rooms anyway, because the changing rooms is going in that corner.
In one
Yeah.
corner,
Might
yeah,
they
that's
put
right,
something
yeah.
on top of it
Yeah,
anyway?
maybe they
Who
will,
knows,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
but what they mustn't forget is once that's done, great. But they need the maintenance on the horseshoe. It's
Yeah.
looking old. It's tired. The roof's leaking.
Definitely, yeah.
You know,
It leaks even more now because you've got filmmakers above us.
yeah, but you know they can't forget about
No.
the horseshoe as well.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Next question. James Brent obviously saved the club. How do we feel now that he's stood down? Has he taken us as far as he could? Do you think?
I think so. I think
He
you've got to thank him.
Yeah.
You know, what he done was absolutely amazing. But he always said when the person comes along that can take it over, that he approves of, and it'd be good for Argyle, then he'll move aside. And I think he's done that with Simon Howard.
Yeah.
But he's still going to be there, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I think you in the background, you'll be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
You most probably could knock him for what he's done, but I think the emphasis has been too much on corporate, not enough for.
Yeah, but that's where the money is, though.
Sorry,
That's where the money is. If you look at, I mean, he keeps referring, and quite rightly, to Exeter Chiefs. That's where they get their money from.
Yeah.
Their corporate hospitality.
Yeah.
Any club. I mean, if you go to Premier League, the tickets are nothing now. You know, you can pay.
Well, there's half a dozen
£75.
clubs that can live
But the
without
corporate
it.
hospitality is a massive income.
Yeah.
If you look at Bristol City since their new grandstand's gone on, the amount of money they've made through corporate things like events and conferences, I mean, it is massive. Especially down here in Plymouth, you know, Central Park, it's a location that people would give a right arm for, you know, it's a perfect place to have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
but-
get them.
And it's got a free car park.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Stay long enough, you can go to the jumble sale, you know, it's a family day out.
But I think rugby and football's two opposites. Rugby supporters, football supporters, opposite.
But the money coming in is
I'll
the
tell you
Total
same.
opposite.
I'll tell you what then, we're talking about hospitality. If you go to Wembley, you go to Old Trafford, you go to Anfield, look in their hospitality, it's jam-packed with people spending money.
Yeah.
Regardless of what sport it is, hospitality
Yeah,
is a massive income.
Yeah, because you've picked out those sort of stadiums, and that's what you mean. I go to Liverpool quite often. Brilliant, it's always full, you know, hospitality. But Argo's different, you know.
Why
Well,
should it
because
be?
it's so much
Why?
smaller. We're down here in the West Country.
Why?
Exeter's got a better
How
pulling
many
power.
places in Plymouth can you have
We
a
got the whole
massive
of
conference?
Cornwall.
But is it a need down here? Is it a need down here? Exeter's got a lot more going for it in that area than what we have
You
down
were told
here.
not to swear.
Yeah, exactly.
Blank that bit out.
So do we think? I mean, James Brent's come under a fair bit of criticism, I think, from
I think it
from
was
certain
unfair.
aspects.
Unfair.
Yeah.
Do we think that's justified or not?
No.
No, it was unfair.
No.
There was no one else that
Mike,
wanted
what
to
about
take
you?
on.
No, you know, I mean, I still, he's done okay. right? But he's done okay.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, when you put your head above the parapet, you're going to get shot by somebody. Whether they're right or wrong, that's up to them. But my view is, no, I don't think it's justified.
Well, I think I read a bit in the paper last week, maybe the week before, where he was talking about he'd never go through that again, because when he came down there, they worked it out like they do, worked out the ticket income and all the other bits and bobs, and they thought, yes, we can make a go of this, and then they overestimated the money that was coming in on tickets alone, plus other things, and they had to put more money in than they had planned. At that point in time, a lot of people would have walked away.
Yeah. It made no financial sense
To
for a
carry on.
successful businessman to do what he did.
That's right.
I'll give you an example.
So has he not walked away with a fair chunk of money now then?
Who cares?
No,
Who cares? Good luck to him.
No, I'm
If he
just
has,
going
great.
back on your point. I don't disagree with that. Good luck to the guy.
But he could have lost it if it went belly up and it was damn close. He could have lost so much more.
Oh, of course he could have done, yeah.
I'll give you an
The
instance
council bailed him out with a few
Of
million.
course, the council helped.
Council
They wouldn't have taken it on their own. though.
Actually, the council didn't do them no favours really, because I think they'd have lost a bloody sight more. Sorry, mate, they'd have lost a damn sight more money if he hadn't saved the club, because
Yeah.
they would have been left with a white elephant,
Absolutely.
and
What do you do with it?
half the population of the
I never
Plymouth and
believe that,
Cornwall
that football
up
club would have
over there.
folded. Nobody can convince me that that football club would have folded.
Why not?
No, why? Because it just wouldn't. I don't think it would have.
I don't think we were far
They
off.
don't so
folding.
they don't
It
they
would
so much
it would
money.
have come back with something. I don't believe it.
All right, it might
there were
have
still
come
people
back.
in the background to get there were still people in
Well,
the
like
background.
Kevin
No, still other people in the background.
Oh, I think we would have been out of the league and way down the pyramid.
We wouldn't be here now.
I'll give you an example of the abuse that James Brent gets. It was a few games ago. We lost at home, and because they're over the Linda side now, they come out with all the fans. There was a guy screaming in his ear about the tactics and the players picked that day. What was
Nothing
it?
to do
So
with it.
what the hell has it got to do with James Brent? Decided, but
Oh, yeah,
James,
that's rubbish.
James, to his
That's
credit,
rubbish.
took this guy to one side and said, "I love your passion. Let's discuss it." Brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
One thing I like about James Brent, he sees you. Okay, he comes on our senior green coaches in and out. He sees you in a crowd, he'll come across and talk to you. He'll shake your hand.
Yeah, definitely
And
will do. Definitely, no problem with that.
you said about Holloway being one of the boys. He's definitely one of the boys. You know, because I don't think it's one. You know, you see some of these manager or owners up in the Premiership, all the airs and graces they got. He's got no airs and graces whatsoever, and that's why I think he fits in well down here.
Yeah, I agree. And so Simon Hallett, we touched on Simon a bit earlier on. So what do we think? What are we expecting from Simon Hallett?
I think the ship will just, it's seamless handover, the ship will just carry on as before, maybe with a bit more money coming in, a little bit more advantage. Who knows? Nobody can foretell the future.
Sorry, just one thing about the Simon Hallett scenario. Can we also bring his wife Jane into it?
Oh,
Who
yes.
is Argyle through and through.
Oh, when she
Look,
just...
she comes across here on her own, leaves Simon at home, and we got here on her own to watch Argyle disability team, women's team.
Surely that's got to be a benefit to Argyle.
Of course
isn't
it
it? You know, I think
She runs a raffle at the senior greens, I'll tell you that.
I think I'm right in saying that
Unbelievable.
James Brent, he wasn't even a football person. Was
No.
he?
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
now he is, isn't he?
Yeah,
Let's be
absolutely.
honest.
Absolutely. But like you say, Jane Hallett is a football person.
She comes
She's
into-
Argyle through and through.
When she's across, she comes into every fans fest, goes around the tables, hugging people, saying hello. She knows them all.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think Simon will be the same, maybe a bit more reserved because Jane's quite outgoing.
Yeah.
But I think they're Argyle people, which
Yeah.
has got to be good.
So do we think financially we're going to benefit from this?
Well, we won't be any worse off, that's for sure.
I can't
I
see him
think
putting his
we're
hand in his
better
pocket, and I don't blame him for doing that. You know, if we're financially better off, it'll probably be because of the strategy that he decides to implement. Like, he's not going to be signing checks for players, I don't think.
To
But
be honest with you, we're financially better off already. He's stumped up the money for the
grandstand.
and
Yeah.
the 30-year low interest loan.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably couldn't have afforded that if it wasn't for Simon Hallett. So
Absolutely.
And
He'll
you've
be
got
as
another
prudent as
reason
Brent,
to
I
lose.
think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the
Yeah,
end of the
I
day,
think so.
he'll run it exactly the same. It might be a bit more money for whoever the manager is. Right,
So
at
do
the
we
end
not?
of the
We,
day,
so we don't think we'll see a difference as supporters. Do you think we'll see anything different?
I think
I don't think
not
just
straight
a
away.
little bit better.
I don't
Not straight away, but it will sort of an upward curve, say.
In better in what way? Just
The manager, whoever it might be, might say, "Oh, I want so and so and so and so," and this one just stretches my budget a little bit, and there might be, all of a sudden, something disappears from across the Atlantic, say for argument's sake.
Obviously, facilities. You know,
Yeah, that's
hoping
gonna
the
get better as
facilities
well.
are going to get better. Obviously,
Yeah.
with the new grandstand.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, we're hoping it's going to be a positive change. Obviously, we talked about James Brent getting to a point where he didn't think he could take us anymore. He was going to hand that over. So do we feel that Simon Hallett is going to take us to the next level? Do we feel that confidence?
Well, I hope
Is it
so.
too early to say?
Early to say, but I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be run much different. I think it's going to be run tight ship. Not going to spend huge amounts of money.
I don't think we'll go bust like we did last time.
No. Because it'll be run pretty much seamlessly as James Brent's run it.
Yeah.
Very frugal.
Yeah.
Not spend huge amounts. You won't see massive amounts of money spent on players, I don't think.
No.
Which I
But,
don't mind.
but does that mean we'll still be in the same ballpark with Adams, only be able to get in the people from Finland, for instance? You know?
What I would like,
You know, I mean, do we want a bit more money so we can spend that bit extra to get a bit more quality?
I think Argyle's got to do a lot more growing rather than just on the players' side. You know, you look at Harper's Park, how long it's taken just to get a bloody fence around there and some drain pipes in so the boys can train every day. You know, we're still here struggling to find a decent way of growing our young players. We still need to give the horseshoe a lick. I think there's a lot of other stuff outside the playing squad that needs to be finished first before we can have this
Yeah, a few years
meaningful tilt at the Premier League, if that's where we want to go.
A few years ago, we were in the championship with a lot worse facilities than we got now.
back in those
Come
days,
on.
we
Yeah,
I mean, I
that
agree.
doesn't make it right. does it?
No, I'm not-
The
look what happened there.
trouble with
I'm not saying
football-
that.
the trouble with
I'm
football on the
saying-
whole is the supporters always put last. The facilities we've had to put up with for years has been bloody awful.
Yeah, no, we're saying about the training
that's
facility.
some
We're
people.
talking about the training
What I'd like to see
facility.
is games like Sunderland's, people play games like that up north, really far north, that they fly up. Instead of getting on a coach on a Friday and
Yeah.
doing 10 hours on a coach, you know, that can't help.
going back to bringing in players and that, it would be nice to see the Sturrock Mark 1 model, where he's bringing in little nuggets from. I'm going to say, who heard of Homosi and those from Hungary? Nobody. How are they?
Well,
That's
Gareth
what they
Penrose
were
and
brilliant.
all
So have we got a scouting network?
But no, this is what we
Gareth Penrose, Holloway's here.
You said the same about Derek Adams. Who
Yeah.
would have heard of Graham Carey? Who would have heard of Alf Smith Trump?
That's
Who would have heard of
right.
Sonny Bradley? So he has got those little nuggets.
Yeah,
of
When we
really-
signed Graham Carey and signed Josh
Same
Simpson at the same
time.
time, and everyone was cooing over Josh Simpson because he was this fantastic player that we just signed. Graham Carey, he's this journeyman from up north. No one give it. And look at it now.
I'll throw one of the Sturrocks in, McLean.
Yeah.
You know, so Adams has made
Yeah, that's
mistakes, so does Sturrock, but Adams has also brought on some
That was
nuggets.
Mark 2,
absolutely.
and that was Stuart Mark 2 to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, you know,
Still
Stuart
Stuart.
advanced it.
Yeah.
Mark 1 and Stuart Mark 1, he brought in some fantastic
Oh, yeah.
players, like you said.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he brought players into Sooty's system.
No,
Going
there's-
back to my earlier
And he brought in
point
some
about
duds as well.
Adams
Sean
bringing
Evers.
players to
Yeah, Sean Evers.
Could have built a team around him.
And there's a defender I would like to see, type of defender. That's Timor. God, wouldn't it be nice to have one like that in the team?
Well, we had one who's called Sonny Bradley.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite up to that standard, to be quite honest.
Well, Timor wasn't there forever.
No.
No, Bradley done well for us back end of last
Yeah.
season.
Right, guys, we're going to move on. Obviously, this season, the start's been similar to last season. It's been disappointing. Is there a particular biggest disappointment for you?
Well,
How it started?
rip apart from the team and the time it's taken them to gel. That's you can't blame the people he's brought in because it's human nature. It takes time to gel, and
How
the
long?
whole season doesn't give them enough time.
You made a point
Unless
earlier.
you've got a big nucleus, not half the team, but say 3/4 of the team as a nucleus, you can then bring in say 4 or 5 who will benefit the team. If they're not up to scratch, you've still got that nucleus to start the season off.
How many players did Pittsburgh bring in this year? A complete new team. Double up.
How much money did
Coach
they
obviously
spend?
spent money.
You did
Yeah.
that, you know.
Peterborough got the players they wanted.
They're up the
They
top
spent a
of
lot
the
of
league.
money.
Peterborough spent a lot of money and they got the players they wanted. And when they came to home park, that was evident because they just.
I think that's what the biggest disappointment for me, and I think it's got a bearing on our start of the season, was the end of last season leaves in Craig Brewster. I think that was huge.
Yes, yes,
I think it was. I think that pair was the same as Shilton McGovern when McGovern ran that team. I think Brewster had a massive input into our team.
I think the players he's brought in are just not good enough, full stop. I don't think you can blame anything else. You know, who's it?
There's a couple that made it great.
Look at the players he's brought in. Who would you say has improved the squad?
But what
Dapper.
was interesting this season though was the players that he did bring in were from sort of Premier League backgrounds, weren't they? You know, we had Safari Moore, you know,
There
Arsenal.
was buzz at the beginning of the season that we signed like half a dozen
But maybe that's
players from Premiership clubs. You know?
maybe that's the problem, Gary. Though, if you're a Premiership player, you get hours on the ball. If you're playing in League One, which I still call Division 3,
Yeah.
as soon as you got the ball, you've got a man on you.
Yeah,
Completely different.
yeah, absolutely.
football.
That's probably right.
Completely different.
Yeah. So what do we think for this season? What's our hope for this season? I mean, I think we're too good to go down. I don't think we're going to go down. I think there's enough there.
I'd like to have a sniff at the playoffs.
Yeah, do you think that's possible?
I'm mid-table.
Yeah, I'd take mid-table.
Yeah, I would.
I'd definitely take the table at the minute.
Yeah.
I don't. What happened last year, I think, is once in a generation thing. You don't.
Well, and even then we didn't see the job through because it just tailed away so
Yeah, it was
badly at the end.
injuries killed it, didn't it?
Taylor went out of the team.
Yeah, and there was no plan B.
I think-
you know.
I think this might be the crux of actually what you just said. Last season we tailed off because we had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So this season Adams has gone out, instead of quality, he's got quantity.
Yeah.
So we don't have that tail off because if we get injuries, he brings more people in.
Yeah.
So he's given up on the quality and gone for quantity this year. I
I mean, the last few games we've performed quite well. I mean, even Sunderland, I know we lost 2-0, but I think the performance was.
I think they were there for
was quite
taking.
positive,
Yeah.
They were there for taking.
It was a dodgy penalty, whichever way. My brother's still absolutely spitting and it was never a penalty. That's what he says to me every morning. It's never a penalty. Right, we'll crack on with our day now.
How many did we not get given?
Well, that's it. And it was a damn good goal by their player.
First goal.
Oh, their first goal.
It's
You
quite
know.
strange, isn't it? Because I'll revert back to what I was saying before. We played Sunderland, who basically are a championship side. We had more time. We had more time on the ball
Yeah.
against Sunderland.
Yeah.
When we're playing teams like Oxford, Wimbledon's, when you haven't got time on the ball, we don't look a very good side. So I think that's a
Yeah.
big thing.
And Burn was the same. I think Burn's probably the best side that we've played at home. That second half performance against us, they were a real tidy outfit, and they were constantly on our shadow the whole time.
I think January will be a telling time for Hallett.
Yeah.
Will he back the manager, Adams? Okay, to bring in better quality players because I'm sure we're going to need to strengthen the team in January.
Yeah.
You know.
So when we talk about the players, we talk about the players that Darren's
One
brought in
striker
this
and a
year.
couple of midfielders.
Who have we had a standout player this year? Have we had a player that you would say, yeah, actually?
No.
So I think Songo's been the best player.
For defence, yeah.
You know, number one for his attitude.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Songo I like and Ladipo.
Yeah.
Because I think give him 3/4 of a season and he will really mature.
Yeah.
He's still finding his feet.
I don't think we're playing the right system for Ladipo.
No, we're not.
See, what worries
the ball up to
what worries me with Taylor, and it does worry me, and I think he's going to rely on him anyway. I've got this fear that he's got a glass ankle.
I think if you've got Taylor,
It's going to be a shame, you know.
If you take Ladipo out of the team and put Taylor in, one thing that you'll lose is goals. Taylor's not a goal scorer.
That's right.
I think one of the key things is Lemiras. I think he's got to find a place in that team to keep him in that team.
I think he's
At the minute, the system at the minute that he sets up with, you can't put him in the team, but I think he's got to be in the team.
Lemiras runs rings around opposition.
You know, I just think he's got to be in the team.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's one of the players that he mustn't lose, to be quite honest.
He
I mean,
nearly
it's
did. And he nearly did.
yes.
You know, it's ironic that he came back. He went under Oldham, had his trial, then came back.
Wasn't that a good bit of man management though?
Well, it could have been.
We don't know what he's like. We don't know what he's like in training. Kick up the ass, go and sod off to Oldham.
Yeah,
he gets up and
Manchester.
he gets up and thinks, God, blimey, go back to Plymouth.
Yeah.
Kick on a bit, and all of a
Absolutely.
sudden he's a great player.
Yeah.
We're talking about the players not being good enough. I think they are good enough to a certain extent, but when you got people like Ruben Ramirez, he's not a player, he's got talent. And it shows. And when he's on the pitch, he comes on for the last 20 minutes. He wants to play from the bloody start.
You could argue he's even more effective in the last 20 minutes because
He's
that ball never leaves. It's like it's stuck to his foot.
Yeah,
you know,
that's talent.
Yeah,
Skill.
And he could tear Sonny Bradley a new one at the weekend.
But
He comes on for 20 minutes and runs around him.
But is Ramirez a bit of a luxury sort of player when you're in this position we're in?
That's why I said.
That's the
I
sort of
think
player
he's got
you
to
need.
find a place in the team for him. That's what I mean by that.
You
Right?
say luxury when you're battling, but surely that sort of player will tie up two of their players.
Yeah.
You can't leave him one-on-one.
No.
So you're tying up two.
Yeah.
And if you've got Kerr on the pitch as well, that's 4 defenders tied
And
up.
Taylor always dragged 2 central defenders with him, which allowed Carey
Well, I
and
would like-
Ramirez to just
What I would like
go
to
for it.
see, and it annoyed me with Sturrock, every corner we bring all 11 people back into our box.
Yeah.
Nobody on
The
that
Ramirez
way.
can't head the ball.
No.
Why not have him on the halfway line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Because we boot it clear and it comes straight back
Yeah.
because we've got nobody up there to pick the ball
Ramirez
up.
is a player that needs the ball to him. He cannot take the ball.
Yeah,
He
same
cannot
as the
tackle
tackle.
it. Once he's got the ball to his feet, it's like old Ruben. What's the name that we're going to see on
Ruben
the
Reid.
Epic? Ruben Reid.
Yeah.
He would wait for the ball to come to him, but when he had it, bloody hell.
Yeah.
And it's the same as Hales that we had all those years ago.
He's still playing.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's still playing. I think he's been playing
He-
football longer than I've been living.
Yeah.
That-
No, that's what's
Yeah.
the name? The big fat one.
He hasn't
what's
been
it?
playing for
Defender.
Torino Western, so
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for that. Thanks for your contributions. Enjoyed that. Hope everybody enjoyed the first Pasoti Jobcast. I'm sure there'll be more to come. And let's hope for a better sort of last 2/3 of the season.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thanks very much.